The following podcast is taken from a live broadcast on Inspire FM.
Catch a creative vibe on the Urban Kube with Sister Shemiza.
Good morning and Assalamu alaikum. It is 10 o'clock, Monday, 8th of July, and you're listening to Who Else? It's Shemiza, taking you all the way up to 12 o'clock on the Urban Kube, brought to you on Inspire FM. It is, as always, Monday morning, so it means one thing, a show to keep you motivated throughout the day. And possibly through the week as well. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend, people. It's been glorious as always, and I would love to find out what you've been getting up to. The weather was really, really nice. It was there was a beautiful, cool breeze, and it wasn't as hot. It's really kind of like calmed down a little bit. But as always, you know, summer seems to have a speeding ticket, and we're going to be finding out from you guys this morning on what you've been getting up to. I mean, some of you may have decided to kind of possibly like travel out across the country. There seems to be a lot of research suggesting that more and more Brits are actually staying in the UK rather than travelling out for their summer breaks, so forth, because the weather is just great and there's so many awesome spaces and places to visit. Today, folks, it's National Picnic Day. And on that note, I'm going to be asking you, is there a rule? Is there a rule on the type of picnic food that should be packed? And the reason why I'm asking you that is because Brother Tariq actually mentioned that, you know what, one thing that you shouldn't have on a picnic is like a full English breakfast. I don't know. Maybe my guest in the studio could help me on this. I'm absolutely delighted, as always, to introduce fantastic guests locally and nationally on the show. The Urban Kube is about positive energy and sharing the creative journeys of trailblazers, and this remarkable lady is definitely a trailblazer. She's a local lady, she's an entrepreneur, she's been a social worker for over 25 years, mashallah. She is a lady who is passionate about people internally and externally. She has her own natural beauty company. She's the chairperson of a fantastic women's group called Women Connect Women.
Vice chair.
But you know what? I'm promoting you, darling. I am promoting you this morning. She's also a community activist and a poet, people. It is no other than Hasna Weaver. Assalamu alaikum, Hasna.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for having me.
Now, you're no stranger to radio, because a little birdie tells me that you used to have a show for about 6 years on Radio Ramadan.
Yes, so before it became full-time, I used to have my own show, and it was called The Sister Zone.
Ooh.
And surprisingly, some people, if I'm out and about, some people actually say, I recognise your voice. And I say, well, where from? And they say, did you used to be on radio? Honestly, strangers still come up to me and, excuse me, they ask me about it.
Wow. Well, You know what? It's an absolute pleasure to have you here, because you're no ordinary radio. You're an award-winning community broadcaster.
Oh.
And it's a pleasure to have you here, Hasna. Thank you so very much for joining me this morning. Now, Hasna is not the only person that's going to be joining me. I'm going to be joining another super lady. She is joining me all the way from London this morning, and she's getting the superhero vibe, but with a hijab twist, as I'm joined by Hajra Khan. She's a journalist for MuslimGirl.com and a freelance broadcaster, and currently a script editor and actor for an all-female superheroes comedy coming soon called Muswoman.
That sounds awesome.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. I want to be one of them. Can I be a superhero?
You sure can. You've got all the traits to be a superhero. Now, apart from being a superhero, you're also a super mom, mashallah, with your children. Now, I want to ask you, Hasna, summer holidays 1 week away. Obviously, whilst your children are growing up, you must have packed a few picnics or two.
Yeah, what I normally do is I go to the local shop and we tend to get breadsticks, dips, lots of fruit, lots of juices. And then when we're there, we just have ice cream, because I think whenever you go somewhere, the food is really, really expensive.
Yes, it is.
And it doesn't taste that great. I know people buy burgers and chips, and I feel quite sick when I go out and I'm having to eat junk food. So I always try and pack healthy food and food that you can eat throughout the day. So like things like bread and dips, you can leave in your cooler bag, and fruit, because it refreshes you but also fills you up as well.
Fantastic. Some great tips there. Now, folks, if you are tuning in, do tell me where you're tuning in from. Maybe it's Peterborough or Sheffield this morning, because we are going live and direct to Salam Radio in Peterborough and Sheffield's Link FM. We're on Facebook Live. Now, you can catch Hasna on Facebook Live. She's waving to the camera right now. Leave your comments on the Facebook Live page for Inspire FM, and we're also on the app and web as well. So there's no way you can get away from the Urban Kube this morning. Now, the question we're asking you is, because it's National Picnic Day, is there a rule, a particular rule about the type of food that needs to be packed for a picnic? Do you have a firm favourite? Is there something you'd like to share with us for great picnic food? Now, to contact us, it's 07779 481822. Now, this morning, not this morning, at the weekend, I actually bought myself a picnic mat.
Oh, I've got one in the car. I have it in the car all the time.
Wow. You keep it in the car?
Yeah, in my boot all the time.
Fantastic.
Because, like, for example, even if you're just going and sitting in the park or you need to pray, picnic mat.
That's great advice. So I think a car needs a picnic mat.
That's a must.
A must?
Yeah.
Definitely. So is there anything else, folks, that you have in your car that always stays, is a bit of a must?
My sandals.
Okay.
Because, say, for example, you're going to the beach or you're in the park and you've got the wrong shoes on, change into your flip-flops or your sandals.
You know why I have this woman on the show. She's giving me all the survival tips for summer.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good idea. Now, I read an article about people getting fined for driving in flip-flops.
No, these are sandals. They're not really flip-flops.
Okay.
But I don't see why you would get fined for that.
Okay.
Because they're really comfortable to wear.
So what I think, I'm going to rewind a little bit, but that article about flip-flops and driving, I mean, like, comfort. Could you drive in flip-flops? I'm not telling you to.
I don't actually wear flip-flops unless I'm going to the swimming pool.
Ah, okay.
I don't do flats.
Okay.
It has to have a little heel.
A little heel.
Yeah, even if it's just a little wedge. So I couldn't drive in flip-flops, actually.
So socks and flip-flops are not your thing then?
No.
You're not feeling the vibe?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think I'm going to move on from there. Folks, you are listening to the Urban Kube with me, Shemiza. Nearly forgot my own name. It is 7 minutes past 10, Monday, 8th of July. I am in the studio with the very fabulous Hasna, who's going to be sharing with us some natural beauty tips. The sun is out, the weather is absolutely glorious, and one thing that is fabulous is actually topping up with vitamin D. We needed it. We need it so bad. Yeah. I'm totally topping it up, but I've got to stay safe as well, because
you must.
You know, we've still got to protect our skin. Now, Hasna, you are somebody that's very passionate about not just internal beauty, but externally as well, as you're the founder of your own beauty company, working with just natural products. Right. What's your thoughts on sort of skincare in this when it gets sunny?
First and foremost, you have to use sunscreen. When I go to events, I speak to a lot of young girls, and I say to them, "Have you got your sunscreen on?" "Oh no, I don't need it. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine." And I say to them, "Yeah, but your skin is being damaged because you're not using sunscreen, and also use a hat as well. You must stay away from the sun. That's the best form of protection."
Why is everybody mentioning this over and over again? I'm hearing it a lot. You know, sunscreen. You're talking to young girls. I mean,
I am, because
why would they need to?
Because what happens is people get to a certain age and they start getting marks, and their skin starts getting damaged. It's very dry. It's very dull looking. And then they sort of say, "Oh, what can I do to improve my skin?" So therefore, I say to young girls, start looking after your skin now. So when you get to a certain age, you don't look your age, and your skin looks really good. It glows. And even with my daughter's 21.
Mashallah.
And all
you don't look like a mother of a 21-year-old.
And my son's 24.
Okay, she's showing off now, people. She is so showing off.
So, yes, I always say
Mashallah.
to her, from a very young age, all I've said is use the natural products and use sunscreen. And she does. And people actually ask her, what cream do you use?
Ooh.
And she always says, I use my mum's cream.
And those mum's creams are utterly fabulous. I have the pleasure of being gifted one, and I'm super, super loving it. We're not going to give you a big plug on the show because this is branding and it's marketing and it's sales, blah, 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 blah. But it's natural products. And you are,
So there's no additives. My base is usually shea butter, coconut oil, almond oil. And all of these oils are protecting, they're healing, they're anti-aging, they're hydrating just on their own.
Yeah.
But then I add other essential oils. So, for example, I would add raspberry seed oil, which is a natural sunscreen, or and zinc oxide, which is a natural powder. It comes in powder form, but it reflects the sun.
Right.
So it protects your skin, it heals your skin. And it's, through time, it actually makes your skin glow, makes your skin look good. So today, all I've got is sunscreen on.
Mashallah.
I don't wear makeup, and I also advocate people not to wear makeup unless it's a special occasion.
Now, why do you say that only for a special occasion? Because makeup seems to be the thing
I know
that a lot of women, unfortunately, will not step out of the house without it. I'm seeing more and more younger girls wearing a lot more than they actually need. Why has this become so much of the norm?
I think it's all to do with celebrities and companies plugging makeup that it will make you look amazing and you can be a model and so on and so forth. But, makeup actually clogs the skin. It damages the skin. Your skin can't breathe. And I've seen clips of ladies who do makeup tutorials, just curiosity, and actually they look so good without makeup on, and when they put makeup on they just look a lot older. They look
it completely transforms
I don't like the
face.
look. I don't like the look. And actually what I'm saying is if you look after your skin, you're not going to need to wear makeup.
And I suppose that's where I envy the younger generation, because I think you have the face that us older ladies are wanting now,
that
and
fresh look,
the
glowing
and
look.
enjoy the fresh look until time takes hold of it.
It's not. I'm not saying you don't wear makeup,
of course,
because people do, and I do. And I
we all do.
When it's a special occasion and I want to just dress up a little bit, then I do. But on a daily basis, no, because I want my skin to breathe.
Right.
And I want my skin to stay clear. Makeup, as I say, clogs the pores, which then you come up with spots and you come up with dry skin and, all those other problems.
I'm feeling all that vibe. I'm so feeling it, honestly. I am taking this lesson from you. Sunscreen.
No makeup. And wash your face at least twice a day.
Not once, people, twice.
So before you go to bed, because, the day, all the pollution on your skin. And in the morning, because your skin is, sweating and it's working. So in the morning, take all that off as well before you put your cream on, your sunscreen on.
And don't forget the sunscreen, people.
Yeah.
And
so I do a natural one.
A natural one.
With no additives, no preservatives, no alcohol. And that's really important.
Of course it is.
Because, I keep saying, things that are chemical based, they damage your skin long term. Okay. Natural products heal your skin long term. And it's very good for the environment.
She's got all the answers, people. She's so got all the answers. Folks, if you're listening into the show, it is the Urban Kube with myself, Shemiza, taking all the way up to 12 o'clock. The time is 13 minutes past 10 and it's Monday, 8th of July. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend and you're motivated on this glorious Monday. It would be wonderful to find out where you're listening in from. Are you travelling? Are you at home, at work, or listening to us via Facebook? Do get in contact with us. We would love to find out who you are and where you're from. It's 07779 481822. On the show today, we've had the pleasure of joining a local talented lady by the name of Hasna Weaver, who's actually one of the leading voices on before Inspire FM became Inspire FM on Radio Ramadan. Mashallah, she had a show for 6 years. So I'm actually kind of like feeling a little enamoured by her, because she's one of the ladies that kind of paved the way for community broadcasting as one of the leading Muslim female voices across the Radio Ramadan, mashallah. Hasna, did you like that plug?
That was awesome.
But it is
Will I get
true,
a job
though.
from it?
Yes, you will, darling. I think we need you back. We need you to come back. But I am quite in awe of you, because I think it is like you were one of the ladies that kind of paved the way for other women across Luton to come onto radio. Have you ever thought of it in that capacity?
I really enjoyed doing this show. I love having lots of ladies come on the show and talk about different topics. And I just had a really good time, to be honest with you. It was a struggle at times because it was for the whole month, every single day, the whole of Ramadan.
That's a commitment.
That's a huge commitment.
Yeah.
And then I passed my baby on to my friend Yasmin, and she looked after it for another, I don't know, 5-6 years. And then I think we changed to Inspire FM, and
And here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are, sharing your story and the legacy that you've left. But hopefully you'll pick up again, because I'm sure a lot of listeners would love to have you back on.
I've got too many commitments, I think.
And your commitments have been extraordinary. 25 years as a social worker. 15.
25 as a community activist.
Okay. Community activist, 25 years. 15 as a social worker.
I'm still a social worker. I'm just currently not working because I look after my parents full time.
Mashallah, looking after your parents full time. And this is something that is a wonderful thing to explore on the show today. And how do you balance all this? Because you've got your children and you're looking after your elderly parents and you've had a career and you're active in the community too. How do you balance it all?
I don't know. I just do. I think, when you're put in a situation, my motto has always been, and my daughter says this to me, that Mum, when I get into a situation, I just remember you in my head saying, just get on with it.
Okay.
Trust in Allah.
Mashallah.
That's my motto. Just get on with it and trust in Allah. Because actually, what do you do? Do you say, I'm not going to be able to look after my parents? Actually, I can't give them to my children. Mm-hmm. I don't want to give to the community. Mm-hmm. I want to do all of those things, so I do. And it's not that I'm busy every single minute of my day. Evenings I get to myself to just do nothing. I like to vegetate in front of the TV and watch Netflix. Yeah, I know. It just switches my brain off.
That helps you relax.
And just forget about everything.
Well, on the note of watching things on the big screen, maybe you might be interested in what our next guest is going to be talking about. She's actually a journalist and a script editor for a new upcoming comedy about female Muslim superheroes, and it's called Mus Women. What do you think to that?
I think that sounds absolutely amazing. Is it going to be on TV or?
We're going to find out from Hajra, inshallah, at 10:35. She's going to talk to us about this series.
I'm going to apply to be a superhero.
Why not? You sound like one. You seriously sound like one. Now, somebody else who's actually making his mark on the television screen is no other than Atif Nawaz. Now, you would have heard Atif on my show a couple of weeks ago when he actually was sharing with us the cricket results of the Cricket World Cup. Now, Atif mentioned that he was going to be featuring in his own comedy series, and that comedy series he gave us a bit of an exclusive about, and that comedy series is actually called Islamic, which is a brand new sketch show, and it's going to be on BBC iPlayer from Monday 22nd of July. So it's starring Ali Official and him and Atif, and it's going to be airing on 22nd of July. So we had the pleasure of Atif actually talking to us about this on the show. So massive congratulations to him that he's doing his comedy series. Now, when you hear about, young creatives of Muslim background actually having spaces on mainstream TV to express who they are, how does that make you feel? Somebody who's been in the media for a little while as well.
I think it's really positive, especially for young people to be able to see and hear Muslim role models, especially in the current climate, being that Muslims are always seen as people that create problems rather than engage in positive behaviour and engage in the mainstream media. So I think it's really, really positive. I'm really happy about that.
Now, Guzzy Bear has,
Yes, I love him.
He's made a tremendous impact
He's amazing
on the TV screen and the main terrestrial television. So I think the doors are opening, but it does seem to be that a lot of the Muslim actors, so forth, have got to have to write their own scripts. To get that space, to own that narrative.
Yeah.
Now, you're somebody that's quite passionate about writing because you're also a poet. And
well, do you call me a poet? I write poetry when it's something that's really personal to me. So I don't write poetry because I just write poetry. I write poetry when it comes from within, and it's like a need to write down what I'm feeling at the time.
Right.
So that's what I do.
But we're going to get a bit of a taster of your poetry very shortly on the show, inshallah. But that poetry has actually taken you mainstream as well. You've also been on terrestrial television with your poetry. Can't get better than that, right?
Well, it was a 5-minute recital of my poem. It was more to do with the project rather than my poetry.
Okay.
So it was to do with the project that Imrana has been running. It's
Echoes of Diaspora?
That's right. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And I think I heard you perform that poem actually at the event at Bedford University. Was it yourself?
Yes.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I was really quite blown away by that platform that Imrana was able to engage.
That was an amazing project.
Mashallah.
Yeah,
Mashallah.
I really enjoyed it.
And may more of those projects continue. So
She's working on more projects.
She
Bless
is.
her, yes. Yeah.
And we're seeing a massive big change in the way, voices from the Muslim community across Luton are being projected and taking ownership of those voices.
Yeah.
And this is a show that also does that, unites all these fabulous creatives to share their story. Folks, it's 21 minutes past 10. You're listening to the Urban Kube with myself, Shemiza, and Hasna this morning. Now, if you'd like to join in with any of the conversations, feel free to do so on 07779 481822. Today is National Picnic Day, people, and we're asking you about picnic food. Is there a rule on what you should take on a picnic? Picnic season is upon us. It is because the summer holidays are just a week away, so a lot of you are going to be travelling, possibly taking road trips across the country or to your local park with your children, your family, and this is where, food comes into play because, you can't have a picnic without a good picnic spread. Maybe it's al fresco, or maybe it's just, something that you've made at home or you've just got from the local supermarket. Now, Hasna talked to us about, making it healthy and practical. And that's what it's all about. I think it's about the practicality of having picnic food that you can actually walk around with, put away.
Sometimes, though, if I've got time and if I'm in the mood, I'll actually make some pilau rice. Yeah, I do.
This is my next question.
I love it. I will make pilau rice and I'll make a big salad, and then we'll just share that as a family.
Wow, because this is my memories, my childhood memories. It always used to be a desi picnic whilst growing up.
I love that as well. Yeah,
it was proper desi food. Asian food is what my mum would cook, and we'd take that. And now I think it's role reverse. I've got older. I don't do the desi food. I kind of go for like the British snacks. But I'd love to find out, what is your ideal picnic, hamper? I bought myself a picnic mat. I'm preparing myself for the summer, getting out with my children, and Hasna shared with us that she's always got a picnic mat in her boot of her car, not only for the picnic but also to pray as well.
Yeah, pray, or if you're somewhere out and about and you just want to sit down, then you need a nice mat,
Always need a nice mat and some comfortable shoes and sandals.
I always have comfortable shoes in the car.
She's so prepared.
Yeah.
And you've got your skin sunscreen
as well. That's always in my bag.
Always in your bag.
Always in my bag without fail.
Gosh, I need to go in this woman's bag and back of her car. I need to see what is going on. She's got everything. Survival. It's wonderful. Folks, also, with it being National Picnic Day, I also want to ask you about your ideas of the perfect road trip. Where would it be? You've got your picnic mat, you've got your comfortable shoes, you've got your picnic hamper. But where are you going to take it? Where is this road trip going to be? Share with us. Maybe it could be to like a local seaside. I think that'd be a fantastic road trip. My question to you guys is, what's your perfect road trip? And how many beaches can you name? How many beaches can you name? When's the last time you've been to a beach, Hasna?
We go every summer.
Okay.
Because my son, my 6-year-old, he loves the beach. And I love the beach. I love nature, any kind of nature walks or forest. So yeah, last year.
Last year. Where did you go?
I don't remember the name of it.
We're going to let you, in the break, remember the name. And what I'm going to ask you guys is, I'm going to put you on the test. I'm going to give you the break to do this. Name me, how many beaches can you name?
I'm going to Google it in the break.
You're not. How many beaches can you name? Do you know the beaches across, like Britain? How many can you name? Folks, loads of conversations on the show. We're talking picnic food, we're talking road trips, we're also talking name that beach. Glorious spaces across Britain that you can catch up and visit, and I hope we're going to inspire you to do that with your picnic mat at the back of the car. We're heading off to a break. After the break, we are joined not only with Hasna, but also getting superhero vibes with Muslim women. Straight after this, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Atif Nawaz and you're listening to an Inspire FM podcast.
Catch a creative vibe on the Urban Kube with Sister Shemiza.
Good morning and Assalamu alaikum. It's 10:30, Monday 8th of July, and you're listening to What Else? It can only be Inspire FM, the Urban Kube. Of course, motivating you on this glorious Monday morning. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend and a brilliant start to your week. It's been a wonderful weekend for me, as always. It was such a lovely, calm breeze across the weekend. Very, very much needed. So really blessed with wonderful weather. Now, I bought myself a picnic mat. Just felt I needed to get one. I felt that this was missing from my life. And it's actually sat in the back of my car. I now need to know what to do with it. So on today's show, I'm getting inspired by my guest this morning.
You can always put it on your head to protect yourself from the sun.
Another great tip, another great hack. Now, the voice you've just heard is no other than the very remarkable Hasna Weaver. 15 years she's dedicated to social work, 25 years community activist. She's also somebody who's passionate not just about the internal elements of human beauty but also external. She's an entrepreneur with a very successful natural gift company. She's been talking to us about not just what we can do with the picnic mat and all the hacks with it, but also protecting our skin in this weather, which is absolutely critical. Yeah. Now, Hasna is a voice that many of you who have been loyal to the journey of Inspire FM over the last 20 years, before it became Inspire FM, and it was only Radio Ramadan, will recognise the voice because she was on 6 years she spent every month on Ramadan, across Ramadan on Radio Ramadan. So, Hasna, thank you so very much for joining me this morning.
I'm having a great time. So thank you for having me.
It's been an absolute pleasure following your journey and your experiences, and really finding out a little bit more about this thing called picnic mat.
Yeah. You can do so much with it.
You've talked about keeping one in the car all the time.
Yeah.
Using it to not just sit on, but also to pray.
Yeah.
Now you've talked about covering your head with it to keep off the sun.
Yep.
And the rain.
If it rains, yeah, you put it over your head.
Super practical. Mine's waterproof with a horrendous gingham pattern.
Oh, so is mine.
Oh, is it?
It's green gingham pattern.
Mine's orange and red.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
It does the job.
That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Folks, it's National Picnic Day and we're getting some great tips. But what I need to find out from you guys is also finding out about picnic food and what is, the ideal picnic food. What's a yay or a nay? Now, Brother Tariq basically said, right, because we've been talking about road trips and I've also mentioned about beaches because I need to find out from you. You're going to name some beaches for me. I'm going to give you like 30 seconds to name beaches across the UK because a lot of people now are making good use of like their summertime and actually going to beaches. Now, this was kind of a traditional holiday for a lot of British families. Not an up and up thing, but more of sort of, a white British thing to do. But now it's the beaches are growing in popularity. We've got loads of beaches across the country, places to go, great road trips to have. My question to you, Hasna, is name me 5 beaches. I'm going to give you a countdown.
So Brighton, Portsmouth. There's something in London which I forgot.
That's not enough. Get to the.
There's loads in Wales, but I don't know their names because we do go to Wales almost every summer.
Right, you're running out of time.
That's all I've got.
She's only got 3 beaches. We've got Brighton. We've got somewhere in Wales. We've got Portsmouth. Okay, can you name any more people?
I can't name any more, but I know where they are.
You know where they are. That's the most important thing. She knows the geography. Okay, folks, I am asking you guys to name me some beaches across the country. We've got 3, but there's a lot more. Do you know your beaches, people? Maybe this could inspire you to take your picnic mat and go on that road trip. It's National Picnic Day, people. And the summer is upon us, and it's 1 week away for many, many children before they break up to school. So we're kind of inspiring you guys to take that road trip. Get your picnic mat and make your way down, but also fill your hamper with some great food. What is the type of picnic food you'd go for? Pakora by the beach? That is what Brother Tariq said.
No, that's too oily.
Too oily, too greasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pilau rice with chicken is okay, but you have to have a big salad with it.
Okay, but at the beach?
Yeah, why not?
Wow. Okie doke. Now, folks, I think we need a little bit of help. Maybe a superhero could help us. A super Muslim woman, another one. Now, I'm talking about no other than an upcoming comedy sketch which is celebrating Muslim women as superheroes. Now, this is no other than Hajra Khan. She's a journalist for MuslimGirl.com and a freelance broadcaster. She's currently script editor and actor for an all-female superheroes comedy coming soon called Mus Women. I think I want to hear more. Are you curious?
I'm very curious, and I want to be a superhero as well.
You sure are. You've definitely.
I need to apply for this show.
Okay, let's find out from Hajra. Assalamu alaikum, Hajra.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. I love the intro. I do love the intro. And the willingness to subscribe to become a superhero. Yes. Amazing.
You know what? We're all superheroes, right?
Of course we are. Every single woman on this planet is a superhero. And I
you have to be in order to survive.
I think so. If you're a mother,
yes,
that qualifies you straight away.
Now, Hajra, you are a mum as well, mashallah, who has a very successful career in broadcasting, as writing, and now in comedy writing. My goodness. Hajra, what have we got to look forward to?
Well, inshallah, when the whole filming is actually edited and put together, hopefully it's it comes off as a tongue-in-cheek comedy sketch. We've got an array of crazy characters, but the important message behind it, despite the laughs and the hiccups that are sort of on purpose in a way, we're sort of getting that message across that Muslim women have something to say. We are something other than the stereotypes. The oppressed woman with the scarf who's been forced to wear it, who's unwilling to sort of stay at home and look after the kids or be in the kitchen or whatever that stereotype may be. And alhamdulillah, if that's what you're happy doing. But this is the message that we do different things. We're capable of the same things as everybody else, and we have the same dreams and aspirations. And I think it's just about getting that out and showing that at the end of the day, we have a sense of humour.
We sure do. and it's a good one. And this is what you're wanting to celebrate. And it's not just yourself on your own. It's a fantastic director by the name of Huda, who I've had the pleasure of having on my show, who's a filmmaker, documentary maker, and she rides a motorbike, people.
Wow.
Whose sister is another remarkable woman who has a PhD, and they came to the UK as refugees, mashallah, and their journey has been extraordinary. So there's a team of really remarkable women have come together. Huda, Hajra, how easy was it for you guys to come together and sort of present your ideas and develop this project?
Well, I mean, like you mentioned Huda's story, Huda Yahya. I mean, amazingly she won't admit to being organised, but she was very organised. I mean, she put out an ad on social media. She had a huge response to it, and she basically went through a series of auditions, interviews, and picked who she thought would work well together. And when we all came together on that first day, I mean, subhanAllah, we clicked, which was what we were hoping for, but you never quite expect it when you sort of meet strangers, you know, that you're going to get on that well. And we did. And it was easy.
Hajra, why did you want to get involved particularly in this project? Because you have a successful broadcasting career. You're also a journalist. Why this project?
I think because most of my work has been based in lifestyle, promoting, lifestyle and interviewing all sorts of different people. It's just another angle to my personality. People are always telling me I'm funny, so I don't intend to be, but I'm always getting laughed at. So I thought, well, let me put it to some good use. And Huda gave me the chance to be script editor, but as it turns out, I ended up doing a little bit of everything, which was great. I had the chance for the first time to operate a camera, to do a bit of directing. I was also acting in the series. It's quite funny. I had this sort of cameo ruffian role. Yeah. Yeah.
How does that even work? I am super, super curious. Now, Hajra, tell me, when will this be released and where can we expect to see it?
Well, it's going to take another 2 months at least to get it all together, and we're going to launch it on Muswomen. It's a hashtag. Huda, if you follow Huda Viz on Instagram, and we'll take it from there. We're hoping to get interest from people, like you just mentioned, Atif and the comedy that he's involved in. I mean, that whole set started off as a YouTube YouTube show, and I mean that just built up a huge momentum. And the next thing, they're getting slot on BBC Three. So mashallah. I mean, it could take us anywhere. We're hoping just to show a bit of positivity for women at the end.
And also take ownership of the narrative, because Atif has actually scripted this himself. He's written his own, comedy series with Ali Official. You guys are now writing your own material and taking that ownership. And how important is that?
I think it's essential that Muslim women in media take that and own that, because nobody else is going to give us those opportunities. We have to create them for ourselves. There's no use sort of sitting there, I can't get a job because I've got hijab, or I can't get a job because I've got kids, or and the list goes on. So no, you come together with like-minded people and you put your ideas into a pot, and you start to take things out from that and make things work for yourselves. I mean, this is how it works at the end of the day when you go into a boardroom and brainstorm. and somebody gets a script written, and the next thing it's out there. So we have to do this for ourselves. These are our stories, and we need to communicate them.
And there are so many great stories that need to be told and need to be shared. And apart from this role that you have as the actor and script editor for this very exciting project, it's a comedy series. It's an all-female superheroes comedy series featuring Muslim women called #MusWomen. You are also somebody that's been writing a lot about other Muslims and the fabulous journeys that they've had as well. So what's that been? How has that experience been like for you, Hajra?
Everything I seem to end up doing, I sort of stumble into it. But I contacted MuslimGirls.com. Amani Al-Khattabi is the founder of the whole show. And it's an online magazine / blog, and it gives a space to Muslim women of all colours and from all walks of life. And it doesn't matter what the experience is, what the opinion is. There's a space for you to air it. Mm-hmm. So that attracted me, and I got into it by through the fashion route. So I seem to be known for my quirky dressing, so I was asked to come on board and give opinions on trends and etc. Whatever fashion show I might have been to. And I've also had the opportunity to write about politics. It goes from one extreme to the other. I have a great interest in Middle Eastern politics, world politics, and then on the other hand, I have this whole interest in what's been coined modest fashion. Mm-hmm. And again, that's an expression of a woman's personality, a Muslim woman's personality, that you can be creative and you can be modest. You're not compromising your duty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But there's many ways of expressing who you are, or your mood even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, makeup is another form of expression. We've been talking about that with Hasna, who is a entrepreneur and a community activist, social worker, and mum. She is in the studio with us this morning, Hajra, and we've been talking about natural products and sunscreen, and how important it is for even South Asian skin or Middle Eastern skin, just brown people, to wear sunscreen. Yeah. Hajra, are you somebody that wears sunscreen?
I should wear it more often than I do. I should, but I do go on up my kids when the sun is high, it's like, sort of squirt them with a factor 50 or something like that. But I mean, you're right. I mean,
we're supposed to be wear it even in the winter.
Oh gosh,
Yes. There you go.
Did you hear that? Yep. Even in the winter.
Yeah, because the sun rays still come through.
Wow. And even more so with the climate change and the ozone layer, right. And it's just,
So there's a lot of pollution in the sun rays, and people don't understand that.
Now, we've been also talking about beaches and road trips, Hajra.
Yes, I was listening.
And so tell me, my dear, National Picnic Day it is. So is there a rule for picnic food? What sort of picnic food? Do you go on picnics? Do you have a picnic mat? Hello?
I don't think there's...
Right, we're cutting you out slightly, Hajra. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, wonderful.
I don't think there's any hard and fast rule for picnic food, apart from, I would say, nothing runny, because you've got to pack that stuff, put it in the car, get it out, and lay it down on ground that is invariably not even, and sit down on the ground and try and keep the food off you. So
no curry and no soup.
No curry on the trip. My family picnics, I remember growing up, my mum would make us, she'd do a roast chicken, we'd have a potato salad, we'd have things like bread and butter, and we'd have the desi thrown in, like, samosas, anything that's you can pick up and eat without it running all over you, and that was great. I mean, those are my memories of picnics. Yeah, I mean, we'd just all be shoved in a car and we'd end up in Southend or Shoeburyness or something like that.
Ooh, you've named us 2 other beaches. Now, I did ask Hasna to name me 5 beaches. We only got 3 from her. So I'm going to ask you the question as well, Hajra. You're on the superhero vibe right now, so go on, give us 5.
Okay, well, there's Bournemouth. I have a couple of friends in Bournemouth. And,
can we give a shout out to Sarah Russell?
Yes, we can give a shout out to Sarah Russell, indeed, yes.
Who lives in Bournemouth. Lucky so-and-so.
Her and her husband. Yeah, her and her husband are great entertainers and took us to the beach down the road from where they live. It was wonderful.
Down the road.
Yes, it was in the middle of winter too, and we still enjoyed it. And I think Aberystwyth.
Okay.
Aberystwyth is amazing.
Is that Wales?
That's in Wales.
Okay.
And there's a whole university community up there, and it's a holiday destination. So it's got quite a vibe going on, and it's towards the summertime. And sort of just a few miles up the road from Aberystwyth is the most amazing beach. It's called Borth. Again, Wales, sort of going into North Wales. But you have to go there when the sun is rising, because the tide is out. And there's this amazing expanse of sand. And you've got the mist coming down, and it seems to go on and on forever and ever. It's quite mystical.
Gosh, she's such a storyteller. I've already been transported there, people. I just need my sunscreen.
I can provide that.
If you ever go to Wales, you have to go to Borth, okay?
Beautiful. So that's 3.
Yeah.
Barry Island?
Yes, Canvey Island, definitely. I actually have a photo on my shelf of my parents. I remember I was about 19, and the 3 of us were bored one afternoon, and we went off to Canvey Island. And there's all sorts of quirky photos. My dad was a big joker, so he was. I mean, he still is, but I mean, he was younger then. And the most respectable photo went up of my parents that day. So yes, Canvey Island and Margate. You can't Margate. Yeah, that has a fun fair, that has an arcade, great ice cream, and actually has sand.
Because I think my children like the beaches that actually have sand and not pebbles.
Yeah, they're painful.
And they are painful, and they came back and said, that was a painful beach, Mummy. I'm not going there again. Absolutely wonderful. You've named beaches I've never even heard of. So you are Queen Seaside Lady. Totally.
I mean, I'm a sun worshipper, so yes, definitely.
But you're going to worship the sun with sunscreen.
And a hat.
With sunscreen, and yes, and a hat. Yeah,
and a hat. But don't forget your cape, because this is all about, the conversation we're having with you is about this fantastic new comedy series, which you have been a script editor for, and it's called #MusWomen. Hajra, before you go, do tell us, how can people connect with you, and how can they support this project?
Support us by following us, first and foremost, at the hashtag that you've just mentioned, MusWomen, Hudavids, at Hudavids, HODAVIDZ, on Instagram. You can follow me. For some strange reason, I actually never use my full name on social media. It's Hajra Doodle. Everything is Hajra Doodle. So you can find me all over social media, and I'll keep you updated. We have a whole team of ladies who are always listed under that, and you can follow up various exploits, and hopefully by the time the whole thing is edited, it'll be out there with a bang, and we'll have a lot of fans and people willing to watch.
And I'm sure there's going to be loads of people willing to watch. Hasna, do you think you're somebody that's going to watch this?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it.
It's exciting stuff. Thank you so very much, Hajra, for joining me this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you and sharing with us some great beaches, seaside resorts I've not even heard of across the country.
You have to get down there with your kids, definitely.
Definitely. With my picnic mat.
Yeah. Oh, yes. It's a green one, isn't it? Is that what you said?
No, yours is orange. Mine's green.
Orange. Hasna's green. Okay, orange.
And what about yours?
Mine it's a bit boring. It's navy, and it sits in the back of my car.
As well. That's where they're all sat. Fantastic. Thank you so very much, Hajra, for joining me this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Enjoy the summer vacation with the children.
And you. Oh, wonderful to be a guest. Thank you so much.
Always. Always. Take care, my dear. That was the wonderful Hajra Khan talking to us about this new comedy series that she's a script editor for called Ms. Women. How exciting.
I'm so looking forward to that.
So I am too. And we've had some correspondence with a few listeners today. And one of them actually is Sufyan Sadiq. Is a name that I think you might recognise, who's been listening in. He says, mashallah, Sister Hasna is part of the old school. She asked, do we really need skincare with our complexion? And I'm assuming when he says complexion, like South Asian skin.
Of course you do. Well, I don't understand the question. What we said is, doesn't matter what colour you are, whether you're white or brown or black, everybody needs to wear sunscreen. Because I think people are under the impression that if you've got Asian skin, you don't need to use it. However, if you do some research, just a little bit, Google it, you'll see that the sun rays in this country are really, really polluted.
Okay, quite intense.
And so therefore, we need to protect our skin with sunscreen and also wear a cap. I do. If I'm walking around, I'm at the beach or I'm in the park, I always wear a cap. And it doesn't matter. I don't care how silly I look with my hijab and my big sombrero hat. I'll wear it because I want to protect my skin.
And you're rocking it, girl. You are rocking it. Now, he also says picnic mats aren't good. They fly away.
You have to sit on them. Put your rice and curry on it first, put your mat down, then put your rice and curry on it, then make your children sit on them.
That's why we have children, to sit on picnic mats.
Exactly.
But he says kids make them dirty.
Don't invite the kids.
Don't invite,
Go by yourself.
Sufyan, don't invite the children. And he says the beaches mentioned are awful. Bamberg is an amazing beach. Is that even in this country?
I don't know. He needs to let us know if it's in this country and where it is exactly.
Do you mean Blackpool, Sufyan? Maybe it was a typo in the message. Thank you so very much, Brother Sufyan, for listening into the show and giving us feedback. Now, you guys can do the same on 07779 481 822. We're going on to a break. We're travelling to a break, and after the break, we're still joined by the fabulous Hasna, getting some great beauty tips and following her journey as a community activist and her work with Women Connect Women. And we'll find out a few more names of beaches. Now, we're heading off to a break after this. Join me straight after this. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Atif Nawaz. Listen to Inspire FM shows in your time by heading over to inspirefm.org or listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Catch a creative vibe on the Urban Kube with Sister Shemiza.
Good morning. And a very warm welcome. Thank you for staying with me this morning on the Urban Kube Show. It's 11 o'clock, Monday, 8th of July. And it's a lovely, lovely breezy morning. The sun is still around. The skies are clear, but it's not scorchingly hot as it has been at the weekend. But still, I understand we got to still keep the sunscreen vibe up.
Yeah. It's people say, well, it's winter and there's no sun. However, the sun rays still come through the clouds. So therefore, whether it's summer or winter, you have to wear sunscreen, and if you need to, then wear your moisturizer as well. But I do make a moisturizer which is got the sunscreen, but it also hydrates your skin, and it also moisturizes your skin, and it lets your skin breathe.
Now, that beauty expert advice that we've just
I'm
been
no beauty
given,
expert. I just do what I do.
She does what she does, but she does it well. Now, the lady's voice that you've just heard is no other than Hasna Weaver, and she is my guest this morning on the Urban Kube Show. So, guys, if you've got any questions regarding skin care, natural skin care routines, then please do get in touch with us on 07779 481822. As always, these are the opinions of my guest. If you need to get proper medical advice, I would greatly advise that you do get in contact with a professionally accredited consultant. Hasna is my guest this morning. She is a woman of a variety of different talents, and one of those is skincare as well as internal support, internal beauty too.
Yes.
And it's through her community activism that she is greatly regarded and noted for, mashallah, as a community activist and a social worker. She's also a mother. She's a vice chair of Women Connecting Women, which we're going to find out a little bit more about. A poet. She cares for her parents, her elderly parents, and she has children, mashallah, aged from 6 to 21.
24.
24! Oh, goodness me, I missed that one out. So 24, mashallah, mashallah. So she's a lady who is very well experienced in a variety of different roles a woman holds. How do you do it and look so good? There isn't a single mark on your face to actually showcase that you've had such a journey.
You're too kind.
And you have had an extraordinary journey, and I don't want to go into too much depth because it is quite personal, and I just want to be quite sensitive to it. But you have had some tremendous experiences.
If people have attended our seminars that have been put out by Women Connecting Women, they will have heard about my personal journey. It's not something that I want to share so publicly. But one day I'm thinking that I might actually write a book about the journey I've been through, and I still come out the other end. And I'm no one special, because I think there's lots of women who go through so many difficulties. And some women, unfortunately, get very isolated and get left behind, and others, come forward and ask for support. And that's what we need to do. We need to ask for support. And there's so many organizations and so many things and so many people out there who want to help.
And this is a support that you are advocating with Women Connecting Women.
That's
I
right.
had the absolute pleasure of attending this remarkable event that I was quite curious about, because I had a number of you wonderful ladies from Luton, from Women Connecting Women on my show, but I'd heard about it, never attended.
So you attended the third one.
Yes, I did.
The first seminar was about skincare, which I actually hosted and I facilitated. The second one was about mental health, and that was Shazia Afzal. And the third one you attended, which was about
nutrition.
health and nutrition.
The turnout was extraordinary. The room was full of women across Luton from all backgrounds and ages. And
Such a positive vibe. It's always a really positive vibe.
It always is. Super, super positive. But what was really nice was the connection. There was an atmosphere of belonging and a real celebration of that. And this is what Women Connecting Women is about. Is kind of embracing
That's right.
women of all experiences, all backgrounds, and providing them a safe space to express themselves and to kind of let it all out too.
Help empowering them to do things for themselves, networking, so that if you're a small business or you're someone who provides a service, you can then connect with other women who may need it or who may, forward it to other people, and generally trying to uplift women from our community who are isolated and who don't normally get to go to these events. We provide it completely free of charge. We have a really amazing venue, and the venue actually offer themselves for free, because they want to also help the community.
Absolutely love the fact.
Free refreshments, and women. There are lots of women there who have so many different experiences. You can go and talk to them. Ordinarily, maybe you wouldn't be able to, but these women you can approach, you can talk to, you can. They can signpost you, but it's such an amazing group and such an amazing project that I love it. I love being involved in it.
And I can see how passionate you are about women, connecting women. How can people listening in connect with you guys for the next? I'm assuming there's going to be another seminar,
yes,
upcoming one.
The next seminar, we haven't got a date, but it should be in a month or so.
Okay.
And we haven't actually decided on the seminar, but we're looking at perhaps talking about domestic abuse, because that's something that's really prevalent in all communities, not just the Muslim community, but across the board. And the best place to contact at the moment is Crescent Hall, just if you wanted to become a member, or if you want to just register your interest. If you get in touch with Crescent Hall in Luton, they'll take your details and forward it on to us.
Sounds fantastic. And as always, the Urban Kube is always very welcoming on projects and programs and opportunities to empower the local community, and we'll always keep updating our listeners on the great projects that you do. Folks, you're listening to the Urban Kube. It's 7 minutes past 11, Monday 8th of July, and I'm Shemiza, taking you all the way up to 12 o'clock. It's been quite an interesting show. We've been out on the beach with picnic mats, and we've been talking about picnic food and finding out about all the best beaches to attend. Now, I've had a number of fantastic beaches thrown at me, and the quiz it's a bit of a test. We asked Hasna to give us her beaches, 5 top beaches.
I failed.
She failed miserably, people. She needs to get out there a little bit more.
I do. I go to the beach every summer because my son loves it, but I don't know all their names. I just go. I just Google it.
You get in the car, you do your road trip, you've got your picnic mat, you've got your flip-flops, and then you just make your way. That's all you need.
Don't forget the sun and the
sunscreen and the sun hat.
Yep.
And even if you wear hijab, put your sun hat on, people. It's still, it protects you. Now, we've had the wonderful Hajra Khan. She is a journalist, a television presenter, and broadcaster, now a comedy script editor. She was talking to us about this very interesting comedy called Ms. Women that is currently being created, and the whole purpose of that is to kind of celebrate the other side of Muslim women that the media has failed to pick up on. And the fact is that, you know what, we're superheroes and we can be funny too. Now, this is talking about superheroes. Very interesting to see that in the most recent Spider-Man movie, we're seeing the first ever Muslim character in a speaking role called Roha Rahman. She's actually the classmate in a new Spider-Man movie.
Didn't know that. Is that already out? Or
I think it's already out. So
because I don't go to the cinema very often.
Okay,
I wait for it to come onto Netflix.
Oh gosh, we're not plugging this service at all.
No, we're not. I just like vegetating in the evenings. Switching off.
Switching off is a good thing, but I know that even switching off takes a lot of effort.
Does it?
Yeah, I think so for me. Well, when the kids are running under your feet and...
No, I put the kids to bed and then switch off.
That's the way to do it. That is some great tips here. Switch off once the kids have switched off. That's how it works.
Yeah. Then you really switch off because you don't have to feed anyone, you don't have to change anyone, you don't have to give them drinks and so on and so forth.
People, get ready for it. We've got one more week left and then it's a summer break and routines.
Chuck him in the garden.
Chuck him in the garden. And you know what, children, there has been research suggesting that, children are so deficient of vitamin D because of the lack of sun. And a lot of children are not playing in their garden. And sunscreen for children is really important.
Oh, yes, definitely. I always make sure he's got sunscreen on. And then what he does, he comes in throughout the day for drinks and food and whatever. And when he comes in, slap on the sunscreen and send him out again.
Wow.
And I just ban him from... I'll let him have it in the evening just to unwind a little bit. But during the day, he's out in the garden and playing with his friends.
So what are you banning?
The Kindle.
So it's all the gadgets. So no electric gadgets.
That's all he's got. So he's got a Kindle.
Okay.
He used to have a phone, but that's put away.
Okay.
So it's the Kindle that he's on. Sometimes he watches little clips and things like that.
Now, this is something that a lot of parents are going to struggle with, especially working parents.
I really feel sorry for working parents.
And it's trying to balance the activities and also those parents are kind of taking time out with their children or at home with their children. How do you get through the summer holidays? Because a lot of parents will be kind of like, I've done it myself, like, hey, take a gadget, give me some time out.
Yeah.
But we need to be a little bit more stricter and create routine.
Don't get me started on how parenting is in England, because it's really, really poor. Parents, especially mothers, are not given the time and the space to look after their children. They're expected to work and be good parents all at the same time. How does that actually work? It doesn't. And I feel so sorry for mothers who have to work because they don't have a choice, but also have to, provide childcare as well. Childcare is really, really expensive. All the summer clubs are extortionate prices. So I don't know what you do.
What is the alternative then?
We don't have one in England.
Is it kind of relying on grandparents?
I can't rely on my parents because I look after them.
Okay.
So I can't. And I think a lot of people can't, because grandparents, get to a certain age where they become children themselves.
Okay.
And they need looking after. Some grandparents are happy to do that. And sometimes, even if you have family, they've got their own children to look after. They can't really manage to look after yours as well. And there's being a parent, don't get me started on that, because there's always a guilt about, you feel guilty about something. And I've actually written a poem on that as well.
And on that note of poetry, you are a poet. I've had the pleasure of listening to you live performing at the Echo Diaspora event, which was produced and directed by no other than our very own Imran Mahmood. Folks, don't forget to listen into the book club show. But I can't remember when it is, so I need to check that. But the book club show, I think it's a Tuesday. Imran, if you're listening in, do remind me. And it was extraordinary. A wonderful platform of women across Luton, Muslim women coming together from all backgrounds. Some of them have not experienced any arts or writing before. It was raw, it was real. You ladies were owning it.
I loved the whole thing. The whole show was amazing. So there was some really, really amazing poetry written by other women. I'm the only one who sort of said, yeah, I'll do it. But my poem was definitely not the best. I just wasn't afraid to be on the show and do like a live performance.
Do you think we're becoming, or Muslim women per se, are becoming a lot more confident in coming out in these spaces and expressing who they are? Has it come out of frustration, or has it become out of like, you know what, I want to test this out. This space is available.
I think it's the next generation, because my generation of women don't really weren't really interested in broadcasting or TV or anything like that, but I've always been someone who's been confident and not afraid to try new things. It's one of those things that I always like to push the boundaries and be uncomfortable for a little bit, and then I know I'm going to enjoy it.
Right.
So the next generation, actually, they're quite fearless, and they are doing what they want to do, because our generation are encouraging it.
Yes, and that's the thing.
As a mother, I encourage my daughter to do what makes her happy,
right,
and what she likes and enjoys doing.
And what does she enjoy?
My daughter, she's a football coach. She plays football. She at university second year, but she also teaches as well. So she does what she wants to do.
Wow!
As long as it's within the limits of Islam, and she's not doing anything out of the folds of Islam, I encourage her to do what makes her happy.
Wow! Great words of wisdom. And your faith plays a massive big part in your life and your lifestyle.
Yeah, most definitely.
But however you're able to balance it accordingly.
There are I think people look at Islam as a faith of you can't do anything. But actually, if you look at Islam as a religion, there's only some things that you're not allowed to do. Everything else is allowed. There's only a few things you can't do.
But it's having that balance and having that education and having that understanding. Now, as a articulate, educated, professional working mother, you're able to identify this and then feed it to the next generation, which you have done for your daughter. But there will be spaces and women who still are not understanding or learning or not exposed to this wealth of knowledge.
And that's where Women Connecting Women come in.
See how she plugged that?
No, it wasn't actually. It was. I'm not even doing it on purpose. It's something that there are some really amazing women who are part of the executive committee. You know, we've got solicitors, we've got professional chefs, we've got really experienced mothers, experienced makeup artists. Women from all different backgrounds, professional as well as women who stay at home.
And the beauty of it is they've all had a journey.
Yes,
they've had a journey to get where they've got, and it hasn't been easy, and that's what embraces them and that's what embodies them. Folks, you are listening to the Urban Kube with me, Shemiza, taking you all the way up to 12 o'clock. The time is 16 minutes past 11, Monday, 8th of July. I'm not alone in the studio. I am with the very, very remarkable Hasna Weaver, who I have an absolute pleasure of sharing this space with you. Thank you for staying with me this morning and tuning into the conversation. It's always a pleasure keeping you guys company, but do tell me where you're listening in from. Now, I'm catching up with the Facebook live feed, and I'm wanting to thank Shazia Afzal, who says, morning Shemiza and Hasna. Assalamu alaikum and good morning, Shazia. Shazia says, yes, your sandals do need a backstrap to them. Flip-flops are illegal. Sensible footwear is essential, and safety first. Safety over looks first, always.
Yes, definitely.
Now, the reason why Shazia is mentioning flip-flops and sandals, because Hasna was giving us some, picnic hacks and what can we find in the back of the car boot. And she mentioned that she always carries some comfortable shoe footwear alongside her picnic mat. And what we discovered was that actually driving with flip-flops is illegal. So Shazia has kind of confirmed that. Now, she's actually listening in at work, and her students are enjoying the Urban Show too. Thank you. They have radio on.
I know, that's awesome, isn't it?
Oh gosh. And she has the radio on in the car too. So she kind of, I think it was a journey. Now, also we've got Shabana Akhtar saying, good morning, Sister Hasna.
Good morning, Shabana. Assalamu alaikum.
And thank you so very much, guys, for listening into the show. Bless you all. I hope you're having a fantastic morning, guys. Do tell us about your, food for picnics. Are you somebody that, have you ever experienced Bagore by the beach?
No, that's not happening. It's too oily, and it's when it's hot. You don't want oily, greasy food.
No, and
I prefer fruit, salads.
Sounds good.
I don't mind rice. Do you know why? Because I'm addicted to rice.
Okay, it's dehydrating, isn't it? It hydrates you. Dehydrating is the opposite.
Well, fruit hydrates you.
Yes.
But oily food only makes you feel unwell and dehydrates you.
Dehydrate.
Yes.
Got to get it right.
Yeah.
I'm having hunger pangs here. I just want to get a picnic mat and just drive out on a road trip. We're talking road trips, people, because it's National Picnic Day. What's your idea of the perfect road trip and road trip food? We've also been talking about name that beach. How many beaches can you name? We've had Brother Sufyan mention a very interesting beach called Bamberg, I think it was, and we thought you might have got confused with Blackpool. I'm sure, he's a bit of a traveller. I don't know how he gets time because he's a busy, busy man. But thank you for listening in, Brother Sufyan. But we want to find out from you guys. Do tell us. What your thoughts are, and also any questions regarding sunscreen. Now, we have a question from a listener regarding natural remedies. Now, I'm just trying to get the question up. It's like, oh gosh, it's buffering the system. I do apologise to the person that's actually contacted us 10 minutes ago. I will get your question up, and we'll get Hasna to answer that. Now, as always,
if I can, I'm not an expert. Please don't.
I do have to confirm this, guys. You're not a dermatologist. You're not a cosmetologist. You're somebody who is.
I'm a self-taught skincare product maker.
Skin product. She is an entrepreneur who is doing very, very well in the natural skincare produce. Now, folks, I also mentioned, apart from her community activism and her passion for people, she's also a poet who's performed across the town at a very exciting event, which was a celebration of the voices of women, Muslim women in particular. And you're going to be performing a poem for us on the show, Hasna. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now, guys, you can get in touch with the show today, inshallah, on 07779 481 822. The show will run till 12 o'clock. You can actually leave comments on the Facebook Live page. You can catch Hasna there. We've had some lovely comments from listeners. Thank you so very much for those of you that have connected with us. We're also on WhatsApp this morning, and the repeat of the show is 8 p.m. this evening. Now, the show is also podcast, Podbean. We're going live to Sheffield, Link FM, and also Peterborough Salam Radio. We're everywhere.
Wow.
We are everywhere this morning, everywhere. And so we should. What do you think, Hasna?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Now, this morning, I've had the pleasure of speaking to Hadra Khan, who is a journalist and a writer, as well as a TV presenter. And we are going to be speaking to another fabulous creative, no other than Abdul Malik Tailor, who is an record-breaking professional tour guide, the first ever Muslim tour guide. He has his own professional tour guide business.
Wow.
And he takes people across London, sharing with them the Muslim connection to, London, the history of London, the
that
heritage.
sounds amazing.
That is super amazing. So, you know what? If you're not doing a road trip, you might want to do a bus trip across London.
Not in this hot weather, no. I don't particularly like going into London. It's too noisy, too busy, too polluted. Unless I really have to, I don't go to London.
Okay, you know what? She's not an advocate for London. Let's just
no.
So the beaches are for you.
Beaches, forests, nature walks, parks. That's my thing.
That is your thing, and it sounds great. I'm liking that thing. Any nice places? Do you know what? We're going to head off to your poem. I think.
Okay.
I want to hear this poem. I want you to take me on a journey with your poetry, folks. You're listening to the Urban Kube. I have the absolute pleasure of introducing Hasna Weaver, who's going to be performing a poem called.
You'll learn the name at the end of the poem.
Okay, the mic is yours.
Okay. I am the pillar that holds it all together, propping them up, otherwise they would fall. I am the trunk, with roots solid into the ground, branches benefiting far and wide, bearing fruits for all to enjoy. I am a mountain, a peg that holds down the ground and props up the sky. I am fierce, strong, unbreakable. If I fall, everything will fall to pieces, be destroyed. I am the carrier and sustainer of life, a gentle flower to be enjoyed by the eye, sharing my beautiful fragrance. I am loving, giving, nurturing, protecting. I am woman.
What a beautiful, beautiful poem. And you sure are. A pillar. You described being a pillar. Do you feel that this is what many women are in their families?
This is not necessarily about me. It's about all women, and it's for all women to say that, you know what, you hold everything together, and I think that's what we do. We hold the children and the family and the household. We hold it all together. We're this mountain. You know, like the mountain is actually a peg for the earth. We like that.
You've described it so articulately. I mean, I can't say more than that. There's a beautiful piece. Thank you so much, Hasna, for sharing this poem.
It's a gift to all women, and that's how we all should see ourselves, that we are strong and we are unbreakable, but we're also loving and nurturing and giving.
Yeah, having the best of both.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure listeners who've just heard you perform that poem would be quite curious to know where else they can hear you. Is this something that you're continuing to do?
What I tend to do is I share most of my poems on my Facebook. Okay. And that's what is my Facebook called? What is my Facebook name? Sometimes I change it. It's Hasna Nafis.
Yes.
And Nafis was my eldest son. So that's what my Facebook name is at the moment, and a lot of my poetry I share on there, and also what I'm getting up to, that the events that I do, the Women Connecting Women events that I do. It's all on my Facebook.
Fantastic. We're heading off to a break. We have had a question from a listener asking about natural remedies for alopecia. I don't know if that is something you'd be able to answer because you're not a cosmetologist.
No, that's not something that I would be able to answer. However, I can share a telephone number of a friend who does treatments for hair loss.
Okay, which we won't be able to.
It's a natural,
Okay.
but we can email back directly
Okay.
to this lady.
Okay, inshallah. We're heading off to a break. After the break, we're going on a tour across London with no other than Abdul Malik Tailor, who is a record-breaking tour guide. Join me straight after this for more conversations. Where else on the Urban Kube? Assalamu alaikum.
You're listening to an Inspire FM podcast, making available our popular programs from our daily broadcast on Inspire FM.
Catch a creative vibe on the Urban Kube with Sister Shemiza.
Good morning and assalamu alaikum. We are in the final half an hour of the Urban Kube Show. I hope you've enjoyed the journey so far. We've been talking comedy, we've been talking road trips, we've been talking beaches, we've been talking picnic food, we've been talking don't take Bakura with you to the beach. We've been talking flip-flops. We've had a beautiful poem by no other than Hasna sharing with us about women being pillars in their families and community is a really, really poignant piece presented to us on the Urban Kube this morning. Thank you so very much, Hasna, for doing that. It's been an absolute pleasure having you being on the show this morning.
Fun.
Yeah? We've been learning about sunscreen.
Yes.
And making sure that we protect our skin, all weathers. It's no excuse, even in the winter, we should protect our skin. Now, I want to ask you, because I've just had a question from a listener, what is it that we're protecting our skin against when we apply sunscreen?
The very lethal sun rays which penetrate our skin.
Okay.
So when we wear sun protection, it reflects the sun rays, so it doesn't penetrate our skin, and so we end up, especially with Asian skin, we end up with dark patches around our cheeks.
Pigmentation?
That's right, and that is actually from the sun.
Oh wow!
But there's also other reasons. It's hormonal changes and also our age.
Okay.
But at least you can protect yourself from the sun, because the other two you can't really change.
Right.
You can't change your age, and with when we have babies, our hormones changes. You can't really change that. But at least if you protect your skin from a really, really young age, you're less likely to have those issues when you reach your 30s or your 40s. So,
and this applies to men as well as women.
Yes,
and children.
That's right. I've had a lot of men that buy eye serum, which is like for the dark patches under the eyes, and a lot of sisters buy it for their husbands, and they give me feedback. There's one funny story. This sister said to me, I love the eye serum. My husband takes it to the gym with him, and guess what? It got stolen from the gym from his bag. Please, I shouldn't laugh. No, but he's using it. But somebody obviously saw the difference in his eyes and stole it from him.
Now
stole from his bag.
Now there is a mass big market for male grooming, and
there's nothing wrong with that.
You know, and there is, and I do think men should pay attention to their skin, but
definitely.
Obviously it's not as taboo as it used to be. Like if you apply a bit of moisturiser and then that kind of like, you know.
Well, I do a beard and face cream.
Oh, okay.
So it's got a really manly smell, and it has to. Obviously, it can't smell like flowers, can it? No. It can't. It can't. So it's got this really manly smell, and it makes the beard soft, it makes the skin soft, and it protects from the sun as well.
Fantastic. So it does all these things. Now, how did you train to become, know how to balance all these natural products?
I didn't train. Basically, after my son passed away 2 years ago, I couldn't work anymore. So I wanted to do something to keep myself busy and something positive, something that I can give back to the community. And one of the things that I was seeing a lot is that products that are not naturally based, but chemical based. They damage your skin, they damage the environment, and also what you're paying for is the advertising, not the actual cream itself.
Okay.
And that really angered me.
Okay.
Why am I paying for this advertising? So I started making things, going on the internet, YouTube, reading up on all, different ways of making creams, and I started making body butter because everybody uses moisturizer for their body, and it's just started from there, and I just
Any side effects with these products? Because I think
None
because you're not a
whatsoever.
cosmetologist, you're not a dermatologist, you're only using natural products. But obviously, people listening in will be thinking, okay, all right. So,
Well,
how
I've been
does
doing
she
it for
know?
2 years,
Uh-huh.
and historically, people always learned through doing.
Okay.
And I don't have a certificate, but I've been doing it for 2 years, and I sell locally.
Okay.
And I've never had anyone come back to say to me, "Oh, I reacted to this or this." However, if you're, I always put the ingredients on the tubs.
Okay.
If you're allergic to a specific ingredients, then obviously that's not for you. I have a friend who's allergic to coconut oil and almond oil. So I make her products without those two things.
So
in
you
there.
actually do it bespoke.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I do bespoke gift packs as well.
Okay.
So, and I deliver if it's within Luton.
Now, we can't advertise your company because that's going to be a little bit naughty of us. But what you can do is give your Facebook page. So if there's anybody wanting to kind of like access information about women connecting women, your
Yeah.
poetry, and this wonderful natural
So my
cosmetics.
Facebook name is Hasna Nafis. And my company is Nature's Gifts UK. And I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay. I said we're not supposed to plug it, but hey, she's done it now. Never mind. You know what? It's been absolutely tremendous listening to you, taking us on this wonderful journey. And you have had a remarkable journey, mashallah. Across Luton, and I'm super looking forward to seeing where the next couple of years take you with your creative writing, your business, and just the work that you're doing with Women Connect Women. We're actually going on another journey with another guest this morning who is taking us on a tour on buses. Now, the guest I am joined by is somebody who you might be familiar with. He has been a guest on the show throughout the Urban Kube's history. He's always it's been an absolute pleasure to kind of find out how his work is developing, and it's very unique what he does. He's a record-breaking tour guide. His name is Abdul Malik Tailor. He's Britain's first professionally qualified Muslim tour guide who established Muslim history tours with emphasis on Muslim heritage connected to Britain. Now, we're going to be catching up with him very, very shortly to talk to him about this very exciting Islamic art and heritage festival being held in Waltham, London. So firstly, assalamu alaikum, brother Abdul.
Walaikum salam, Flo. How are you?
I'm very well. I am super well. Now, brother Abdul, I don't know if you've been listening in to the show this morning with myself and Hasna. We've been talking about road trips, but you're the expert of bus trips, and you're the expert on like river cruises as well. Now, tell me, brother, it's National Picnic Day. Do people take a picnic with them when they go on a bus tour with you?
They do indeed. They're most welcome to come on the buses with their picnics, and it's traditionally seen as a bit of an added attraction as well. Yeah.
Now, when's the last time you've been to a beach?
To a beach? I think it's probably about 2 years ago, but I do go to River Thames quite frequently.
You literally live on the Thames, I believe, on that cruise.
I wish I could. That would be beautiful on a barge maybe one day.
Now, on today's show, we've been talking about road trips, and because the weather is utterly awesome, and the fact that it's a week away to the summer holidays, and we're kind of inspiring our listeners to kind of get out there, and obviously we've got to connect with you because you do some great tours, so hopefully it'll inspire a lot of our listeners to kind of maybe take a tour with you. But we're also asking folk about the beaches across the country. Now, I'm going to test you out now, brother Abdul. Can you name me 5 beaches British beaches?
Bournemouth, Southend, Clapton-on-Sea, Brighton, and that's 4, isn't it? So
Yes, it is.
Choose another one. Great Yarmouth.
Great Yarmouth, and they're all quite southern, so that's why you were quite quick on that. Do you? What I want to ask you here is, okay, what is the ideal beach food to take with you?
Ideal beach food. It depends what type of community you come from, to be honest.
Okay.
Sometimes people actually just prefer to have traditional fish and chips by the beach as well.
It's too expensive.
It's quite popular as well. And but to take with you, maybe like you say, like a picnic. But there is this new trend. Sometimes people are having like afternoon tea by the beach now.
Ooh, that sounds a bit posh.
Like a bit more classier.
Yeah, it sounds very classy. That. So it's no pakora then at the beach for you, because that's what Brother Tariq.
Not me. No.
No. You're too classy for that. Now, folks, you're listening in to the Urban Kube with me, Shemiza, taking you all the way up to 12 o'clock. And on the show, we've had the pleasure of speaking to Hasna Weaver, Hajra Khan, and now we're talking to no other than Abdul Malik Tailor. Now, Abdul is Britain's first professionally qualified Muslim tour guide who's established Muslim history tours with the emphasis on Muslim heritage connected to Britain and the halal food cruises on the River Thames. Now, believe it or not, guys, a number of months ago, Brother Abdul broke the record for the most amount of attendees on the guided tour at the Tate. Wow. What's the journey been so far, Abdul? Have you increased that number?
Not at the moment, no, because that was actually a commissioned tour at E-Time, and that's when we broke the number. But we had 2 tours that day, and it was the record was actually broken twice. That's what I was told by a member of staff afterwards. So it wasn't only once, but it was like it broke on the first tour. We broke it, but then even the second one, we actually got the most amount of attendees that we know for ever has taken place at Tate Britain. It was, people actually enjoyed it. They want to see Muslim heritage in museums and galleries and out on the streets. And traditionally, it's how can I say, it's mostly, and people who actually work in museum galleries, it would be seen as traditional audiences. So getting having a museum or gallery that receives like people of different faith, different colour, it's something that's quite attractive. It does attract people's ears, and they want to actually engage as well with different communities. And
there does seem to be a good. I find it quite diplomatic in the sense that you're advocating the fact that we are not just immigrants, that the Muslims have had a historical connection with Britain longer than people wish to believe.
You know the longest connection?
Tell us.
With Britain? The longest connection goes back to an actual English king called Offa, and he had a gold coin, and on the reverse of the gold coin he actually had the Shahada. But there's a local connection here to the radio station. He was actually buried in Bedford.
No way. I didn't know that.
He died in the year 796. Some people do believe he did become Muslim. Some people say he remained Christian. That's a larger discussion, but it is a fact that he did have Arabic writing on his coin.
How tremendous. Now, your research, has it stopped? Are you still continuing to go into the archives of history?
It's never ending. I mean, what we also discovered on the journey in terms of actually creating these tours was actually London's first mosque, which was in 1895. Managed to pinpoint the door number. We wrote a biography of the individual who actually opened up London's first mosque. And we made some other discoveries, for example, like in 1894 now, the location of London's first known public Eid prayers, and that was in Chingford.
Wow, tremendous. Now, this is really inspiring because I think there's a lot of parents who'll be wanting to know, gosh, I need to do something with my children, or I need to do something in the holiday break. So how can people connect with you, Abdul? And we're also going to be talking about this really cool festival that you're part of too.
Yep. Well, they can simply just go to muslimhistorytours.com website, and on there we have the different experiences listed, which could be the bus sightseeing tours, which is in fact is a daytime one, and we also have a nighttime one as well. We get to see London beautifully lit up. At the same time, we're giving live commentary of Muslim heritage out of various locations as well. And we also have probably it's about 19, almost coming up to 20 different types of walking tours as well. And we also have a couple of guided cruises as well. So it's a variety of activities that can actually take place.
And there seems to be a growing interest because you started off with one and now it's 20 tours.
Yeah, well, 20 plus if we take into consideration the bus tours as well as the cruises as well, so it's 20 plus. But yeah, I mean, you're absolutely correct. We started off with one, which was in central London, because that's more of the touristic locations, which people like to see, like some of the animals, the horses, Buckingham Palace, Big Ben, Trafalgar Square, where's all the Muslim heritage around here. So they get kind of like 2 tours in one, they do.
Wow. Now, moving on to a festival. This is quite interesting because normally it's tours that you're participating in, but now it's actually a heritage festival, an Islamic art and heritage festival, and it's being held at Waltham, London.
Waltham Forest, yeah.
Waltham Forest. Now, tell me, Abdul, what's quite significant and special about this actual festival?
This festival is one of a kind. That's the first time it's taking place in London, but it's going to be an experience of amazing blend of creativity that's going to be engaging and captivating. We're going to be looking at some historical hidden gems. We're actually going to be going to the venue of where the 1894 Eid press took place. And just something to add on to it, we are actually working with the local authority as well as Historic England to get the building a plaque as well. So that's something a bit more long term. We're also going to have like some amazing storytelling for kids as well, and we're going to look at stories from Islam, so about the Prophet Muhammad and the spider story. We're going to look at Malcolm X, we're going to look at Muhammad Ali as well, so that's a bit of like interaction there as well. And we've also got sightseeing bus tours, we've got spoken word as well by different genders, by people from different communities, and we're also going to have something that's called Muslim Human Books, and that's something that's new, where non-Muslims will get the opportunity to ask Muslims who come from different fields, working fields. So one could be a homeschooler, one could be a teacher, one could be a Nagabi, one could be an artist. And, what is it that makes people, these individuals? So it's more of a human touch to a side that perhaps people don't see. We've also got films, we've got workshops. We've also got a launch of a new exhibition called New Faces, New Places, which is converts to the Islamic faith. And I'm not aware of another exhibition in the UK that actually specialises in an exhibition to do with converts to the Islamic faith. And you may recall, I'm actually a convert myself, so that's something I have a personal interest in. But I mean, the workshops, etc., they're all free as well. You only need to register online, and that's really about it. There are some paid activities, but it's not normal prices that you find on mainstream as well. Now,
you've just mentioned this human story about converts sharing their journey, and you have also mentioned that you are a convert as well, mashallah. Are you going to be sharing your story as part of this project?
I will be, yeah. Traditionally, people do ask me about my... well, first, it initially starts off like, what's my name? Abdul Malik Tailor. How does Tailor come, pair up with Abdul Malik? And so I'm actually a convert to Islam. But what I've realised, it also opens up a conversation. People always want to know how I actually came to the Islamic faith. So I am part of this exhibition as well.
How exciting. And your journey has been tremendous. Not only has it been about educating you, but also you're educating the masses through this. So it's a gift that, Islam has been brought to you, but you're bringing a gift to the rest of the Ummah as well with this history that you've been unraveling. And the journey has been tremendous that I've been following. And you've been a guest on my show since I started.
That's right, yeah, come to think of it, yeah. It's about twice, isn't it, I think I'm mistaken.
No, it's more than that, brother. You've been on the show more than that. You've stopped counting. He's just got so big with all these interviews he's doing across the world. But your work has actually taken you international, hasn't it, with the stories that you're projecting?
It is, it has done, yes, no, absolutely.
MashaAllah, and it doesn't stop there. Now, Brother Abdul Malik Tailor, tell us, how can people get in touch with you regarding this really exciting festival, the Islamic Art and Heritage Festival, which has been showcased at Waltham Forest, London, and it's part of a bigger festival, isn't it, which is happening?
Yeah, it's part of, Waltham Forest is the first London borough of culture, and so it's trying to attract normal tourists, normal guests who may venture into central London to like some of the museums and galleries, but they've received funding from the Mayor's office to basically lay on a whole lot of activities on the London Borough of Culture. And as I said, they were the first London Borough of Culture to win. So it has a range of activities that happen all year long, but there is also the Islamic Arts and Heritage Festival of 2019, which we're hoping to make it as an annual event as well. So we do need a lot of support out there for people to book up the activities to show there is a demand, and you do want it. You want to also, we've got some other events, inshallah, lined up throughout the year as well.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, but what they can do to find out more information, if they go to halaltourismbritain.com/festival, you find out the full range of activities and there, as well as to book online as well.
Now, you mentioned halal tourism. Okay, what does that actually mean?
Halal tourism means to go to different venues which can actually look after one's faith needs. Commonly, people associate that to be halal food and halal prayer. Well, there are a number of us who are actually saying this needs to be expanded to also include our heritage as well. And that's like a missing element to halal tourism globally. But there are a few people of us who are actually saying, let's now include heritage as well, because when you go to different countries, people would want to know how the local Muslim community is developing, that local connection, what's the historical timeline of Muslims within that country. So, for example, if you're looking at Paris, not many people know that the last Ottoman Sultan died in Paris. So that's an additional part as well.
You're a walking, talking archive, aren't you? It's just absolutely fabulous. And it's brilliant. No, Abdul, thank you so very much for joining the show, and good luck with the Islamic Art and Heritage Festival. What date is this happening?
Yep, it's going to happen from Friday the 19th of July until Sunday the 21st of July. So it's a whole weekend of exciting events taking place.
Fantastic. And it's a free event?
Vast majority are free. There's a couple of paid activities, like, for example, the film showing at the cinema one day in the Haram. The prices are £3 or £5, but that's the cheapest it's been. And none of this is charity related, so people don't need to worry about coming to the activities and putting in the pledges of £1,000, £5,000. There's no fundraising at any of these activities.
Do you know what? That made me giggle, and I'm not going. No comment. But the film is a very, very unique film, because I think nobody's ever done this. I think, is it Abrar Hussain? And there's a panel discussion with
We've got him for the evening as well.
Fantastic.
It's going to be and Sheila and Mortley, who are going to be doing a panel session as well.
Fantastic. And she is tremendous.
Should we make it a competition that somebody can win a ticket to the film showing? Shall we do that?
I think they should give us free tickets to
people
who are superheroes.
Yeah, 3 minutes left, Brother Tariq. What would the question be? Because unless it's a repeat of the show this evening, throw us your question. We're doing the repeat of the show this evening, and if anybody is able to put the answer on the Facebook page of Inspire FM, the Urban Kube Show.
Where was King Offa buried?
Ooh, where was King Offa buried?
I know the answer.
She knows the answer.
I think I should get a free ticket.
Okay, you need to put it on the Facebook page. You're the only person listening. No, not really. Right, Abdul.
No, there's more people listening. There's someone listening from Bradford.
Oh, all the way from Bradford. Gosh, thank you so very much to the person listening from Bradford this morning. And now, Brother Abdul, quickly, what's the question again?
Where was King Offa buried?
Where was King Offa buried? This is the question for you guys to win a pair of tickets to the Islamic Art and Heritage Festival being held at Waltham Forest, London, on the 19th of July to the 24th, I believe. And leave the answer on the Inspire FM Facebook page for the Urban Kube, and then the repeat of the show is 8 p.m. So we're keeping it open, and then inshallah you'll win a pair of tickets. Now, how can people connect with you, Abdul?
Yep, we're on social media under Muslim History Tours, the handles, etc. But also, if you want to look at the website, it's halaltourismbritain.com. Also, or it could be /festival if you want to look at the Islamic Arts and Heritage Festival.
Fantastic. And you're giving away 2 tickets to this exciting event. So people start messaging in. And maybe we might get a winner at the end of the show. You never know. Now, thank you so very much, Abdul, for joining me. And I'm sure lots of people are going to be taking their picnic mats to this lovely event.
Fantastic. Yep, I'm sure. I look forward to everyone from the listenership coming down to the event.
And all the way from Bradford, I hear, this morning as well. Thank you so very much, Abdul. Have a fantastic day.
You too. Thank you for having me.
Always welcome. Assalamu alaikum, brother. That was Abdul Malik Tailor, a record-breaking, not once, but twice, professional...
In the same day.
I know, professional Muslim tour guide. It doesn't happen like that, not once, but twice. Now, folks, the competition. Do you remember the question?
Where was King Offa buried?
Yes, that's right. Where was King Offa buried? If you want to win 2 tickets to attend the Islamic Art and Heritage Festival starting on Friday the 19th in London, Waltham Forest, then 2 tickets to attend the event. Leave your answer on the Facebook page and then we'll get you those tickets. Now, the show, you've got till the evening, actually, because the repeat of the show is 8 p.m. this evening. We'll keep it rolling till the evening. Now, we're heading off to the end of the show now. It's been tremendous. Thank you so very much, Hasna, for joining us today.
Right. I've enjoyed myself. It's been great.
Brilliant. That's what I want to hear. Now, you can catch all the conversations on the repeat at 8 p.m. this evening. Plus, you can go back to Facebook, Inspire FM, the Urban Kube Show, to catch it all there. Listen in this to find out where Prince Offa was born. I don't even know where he was born.
If you'd been listening to your own show.
I was multitasking.
Okay.
Oh, it takes a lot.
It does. It's not easy. It's not easy.
And thank you to the person listening in from Bradford. Who are they?
So it's actually one of my cousins.
Okay.
Who lives in Bradford.
And what's your cousin's name?
His name is Rukon Rahim.
Mashallah. Thank you so very much. Now for listening in. Now we're heading off to the end of the show. So assalamu alaikum. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We stream our daily broadcast on inspirefm.org. You'll find all our daily updates on our social media at Inspire FM Luton.